This is a short tutorial on how to get into Desmos. So I start off getting into Desmos in a whole bunch of different ways. One way is to go to the graphing calculator at desmos.com, and where it says students join your classmates, just click on go to student homepage. Once I'm there, I am going to log out of that so that I can show you how to get in. Once I'm there, I do have an option of entering a code, but if I have not given you a code, which I probably haven't, I'm going to sign into my account. If you're using your school district account, you're probably going to be signing in with Desmos. I am using my son's email. And his password. I'm going to log in, and it doesn't match. Oh, I know why. Problem with when your password doesn't match is uh-oh. Just a second. I figured it out. I put in the wrong email. It has to start with a 1. Ta-da! Okay, here we go. But that is the problem. If you forget your password, you can't get in. And they can't email you your new password. So if you're using, use a personal account, use a parent's account, or email address, any of those things will be fine. But here's what happens when I finally do get logged in. It takes me right into the class that I'm registered for, the class that I registered my son for. And all these blue things that say start are activities I have not done yet. Anything that says open, I've already started. So I'm going to open this one and show you one way you could do some of this work. First of all, when it asked me to define the variables, I noticed that it was in the paragraph above. I copied and pasted it. Write an equation for the total number of items sold. C plus B equals, what was it, 600? And the second one, oops, C plus B equals 600. And the second one was 35 cents for a cookie plus 75 cents for a brownie was a grand total of $360. And I'm going to click submit. Next it says solve this system symbolically. That means you're going to use the properties of algebra to solve it, so you're not going to graph it. An option for you can copy and paste again, Control-C, Control-V. If you don't like the way that looks, you can paste it into an equation, which looks much nicer. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the second one, copy, paste it in an equation. Okay. And then I'm going to say something like, I've decided to use substitution. So I'm going to say, solve for C. And then I'm going to say the equation is now the number of cookies equals 600 minus the number of brownies. Okay. So I'm going to substitute that into the other equation. And honestly, the place I'm going to substitute it, I could copy and paste again and take this C out and replace it with 600 minus B. So I'm showing right in this problem that I'm using substitution. That's the symbolic method that I have chosen to solve this problem. This is math that we've done in class, I think. 0.35 times 600, I think it was 210. I could be wrong. Minus 0.35b equals 360. And then for the next step, I want to show that I am planning to subtract 210 from both. Oops, I forgot about the plus 75. Hold on a second. Copy this and paste it. For my next step, I am going to add together the negative 0.35 and the positive 0.75. So I get 210 plus 0.4 or 0.4 40b equals 360. Okay. So the next two steps I'm gonna hit pause and just do them, but in the next two steps I'm gonna show that I'm going to subtract 200 from both sides, and then I'm gonna divide both sides by 0.4. All right, so I've showed subtracting 210 from both sides. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 0.4. And to show that, I'm gonna hit the math, and then I'm gonna push the keyboard, and I can see that there's lots of things down here that are gonna be useful to me. So I'm going to just click divided by 0.4. Maybe I'm not going to do it that way. Actually, I changed my mind. I am going to do it that way. So I'm going to put in the divided by, and it gives me a fraction. So on the top of the fraction, I'm going to write 0.4b. And on the bottom of the fraction, I'm going to put my 0.4. I'm going to click back, use my arrows to get back in the middle, hit equals. And then I'm going to put in another fraction, so I'm going to push divided by, and on top I'm going to put my 150, and on bottom I'm going to put my 0.4, and that at the end I find out that b is equal to 375. So before I move on, I think down here it says, what does your final answer represent in the context of this problem? So far I know that they have sold 375 brownies. And I'm not sure yet how many cookies. I'm going to figure it out. But here's what I know. If b is 375, I could take any equation. I can take this equation, I can take this equation, or I can take this equation. Any one I want. I'm going to use this one because it's easy. I'm going to copy it. Paste it. I want to paste it into an equation because I like the way that looks better. And instead of a b, I'm going to type in 375. And then I'm going to show that I'm subtracting 375 from both sides. And then my final answer is the number of cookies equals 225. And then down here, I'm going to write 225 cookies. So they asked us to check your work by substituting it back into the original equation. I'm going to just grab this to make it fast. So 375 brownies and 225 cookies really does equal 600. So I'm just going to write then I'm going to check my other one, and this is the one I seem to get wrong all the time. So I'm going to grab this equation. I'm going to move over a little bit and paste it. There we go. Instead of a C, I'm going to take that out, and in parentheses, I'm going to put in my 225. And instead of this B, I'm going to hit delete. And instead of B, I'm going to put in 375. And I'm going to show that those two together really do equal 360. So that's 7875 plus 281.25 equals 360. And it does. And so on the next line, I'm just gonna space bar my way all the way over here, and I'm going to write true statement. So I have my answers. I'm checking them over to make sure I have everything I need. I'm going to submit my answer. That's how I know that my teacher can now see it. And I'm going to show you what this looks like on my end.